Hello, hope everyone is doing good. So I thought I would just come on and share a little bit while I take a little walk as the sun goes down, and it's to some degree, pun intended, starting to cool off to some degree after 107 degree day today. Fortunately for my Florida crew, there's no humidity, so that's a good thing. But I wanted to come on actually and just share a little bit about recent major changes that I've been going through and making. And to those of you who have followed up, reached out to me, thank you so much. I definitely appreciate that. And don't feel bad if you didn't, because, yeah, don't feel bad. Because, for one, if you texted the old phone number that I had for, I don't even know how many years I had that phone number. It was a long time. So if you texted that phone number, then I don't have that phone number anymore. And so, yeah. So anyway, I thought I would come over here and share just a little bit about, the recent changes. So sometime last year, first of all, to begin, as you guys know, and I won't mention her name because my 38 Facebook friends, they know who she is, probably. And if not, then, just follow the story, I guess. But as you know, I was engaged to someone. Let me turn the camera around so you guys can see this view real quick, if it works. Oh, it's not working. That's a beautiful view. Let me turn this around. See that? Yes. So anyway, I was engaged for just under 2 years to someone, and we were set to be married on December 11th of 2021. And I keep a journal, and I have for many years. If you don't, I encourage you to do that because it's extremely helpful. One, for the releasing of thoughts and energy and all of that. And by the way, we are energy. It's scientific proof. There's scientific proof that this is the reason why when you think of someone, they reach out to you often, right? Because your frequencies are aligned. Okay, and that goes into chakra alignment and meditation and all of that. And if you want to know more about that, feel free to ask your questions, because that is how I became awakened after going through that process and what is called the dark night of the soul, and coming into the spiritual awakened place that I am today. Most people, unfortunately, they live their lives really kind of unconsciously, and they just do things as they're told, so they never question them. They just, they're born and they die. And in between, they never truly walk in what they really believe, because one, they might be afraid to walk alone, or to leave family, or what have you. So I can tell you, and I can't describe what it is that's in me, but I was born a soldier. That's who I am. So I'm not afraid to do anything that I'm supposed to, even if it's by myself. And I'm not afraid to leave places despite the relationships that have been established there. Because those relationships, the true ones, continue. And that's very evident by our interaction. The 38 friends that I do have on my Facebook profile, I know personally, and I've known them for some years. So the reason why I got rid of the old Facebook page that had, I don't know, 1,000 friends on it or something, was because after I began to be awakened, I realized there was a whole lot of air in that bag of chips. You know what I mean? A whole lot. So during our engagement, she started seeing, or perhaps was already seeing, I actually believe she was already seeing someone else. And this individual lives in Charlotte, North Carolina, and is a transvestite. She would tell me about this person, and I assumed during our time together that this person was just it was a family friend, right? Someone that she had grown up with, and she would visit when she would go to Ohio to visit her dad. I didn't think anything about it because I don't know. I would just never think anything like that. However, she would tell me a little bit about a friend, but only one or two things when she would get back to Florida. And the last time she told me is that individual had their sex organs or sex organ changed. Now, I don't care what your belief is because we're all entitled to our own opinions, but I will say this, and I'm going to leave it at this. Yahweh God, Creator, Divine Source Himself, He does not make a mistake. So if you were born standing up to pee, that's who you need to stay. If you were born sitting down to piss, that's who you need to stay. Okay? You can't change what the Creator of all things has done. No matter how much science tells you you cannot change it. Okay? So she decided that she was going to be with this individual. And hold on a second, I'm crossing the street. And so again, this relationship was already established before her and I started seeing each other, unbeknownst to me. So the reason why she keeps her bisexual preferences a secret is because she considers herself a Christian. And so because of that, the Christian religion, and all religion is garbage, right? All religion is just another way of man controlling people. Spirituality and you living out your individual truth with those who you are joined to, divinely joined to, not just having friends just to have friends or just to have a long list of people on a social media site, right? That's really the way life is meant to be lived. It's meant to be lived through your intuition, right? And intuitively. It's not meant to be lived by being a robot and checking a box for Bible study or Sunday service or what have you. All right? That's not the way. Okay? So anyway, so yes. So I decided that I was going to get out of that situation at the end of 2021. Okay? But as I began to go through my awakening, many of you noticed that I kind of disappeared. I got out of BNI. I stopped going to events and things like that because I was going through my awakening at that time. And I needed to be in solitude. And if this doesn't make sense to you, I encourage you to ask questions. I encourage you to look up what the dark night of the soul is. I encourage you to look up what a spiritual awakening is. Then you'll find out how almost 8 billion people on this planet are actually walking dead, right? And so I decided that I was going to get out of that situation. At the end of around August of 2021, by the way, to the childhood friend that gave us the gift, I did already thank him and his wife, but they actually gifted us their condo for the weekend that was going to be our wedding, and they were going to be guests at the wedding. And so again, I've thanked them already, but again, thank you so much. Her and I did go that weekend, and we did spend that time together, and that was probably the last real time we spent together other than just conversations. And so what I understand is this individual is that she just chose to go with, this transvestite. And just so you know, I say homosexual because gay means happy. So I don't use politically correct terms, because politically correct terms just simply mask things. Okay, so that transvestite, she decided that she was going to go with them, but that individual turned out actually to be something of a devil. Okay, so here's why I say that. You say you can't call someone a devil. Sure I can. You call people worse than that, I'm sure. Right? So this individual manipulated her into some sort of scam that involved me. So they decided that they were going to hack into my business email accounts, hack into my personal email accounts, and hack into my phone, which is the reason why I got rid of it. And they decided that they were going to, their whole purpose was to just beat me into the ground. Whoever this individual is, I don't know their name, but whoever they are, they decided that they were going to come against me, and I believe she was in on it too at some point, not initially, because I don't believe it was her idea. However, you're guilty by association, right? That's the law. So I told her, or believe that she was told, that this is what this individual that she chose over me was going to do, and she went on board with it. Now, they attempted to do some sort of identity theft, and maybe it was successful. I don't know. Again, for those of you who've already seen the post from yesterday when I updated my new city location on Facebook, those of you who've seen that, you know that I stated that they can no longer do what they're able to do now. I do know that, so I do know that much. However, all of the information is still being gathered and so on and so forth. I have not been contacted by any other authorities as of yet, but I certainly expect to be. And so I don't know what they were able to do with the identity theft. However, they were able to swindle one of my, not just a client, but one of my dearest, if not my dearest, friend's daughter, who I've known since she was 6 months old, swindled her and her husband out of $1,500 because they hacked into my email address and sent her fraudulent emails saying that she needed to send me more money for tax work, or something associated with tax work. And so, and to you, you know who you are. When this is all settled, like I spoke of yesterday when we were texting, there will absolutely, without a doubt, you will be what's the word? I'm lost for the word I'm looking for. Anyway, yes, you will get your money back, basically. And so, thank you for understanding. Again, these are dear friends of mine, childhood friends. I've known them since I was 16 years old. At least their mother and uncle and mom and dad and all of them. Okay. And love you guys, by the way. So anyway, when I decided to leave that relationship because things just did not feel right, the closer we got to the wedding date, and again, I encourage you to pay attention to indicators, okay? The closer we got to the wedding date, the worse things got. So her intention was never to marry me in the first place. Her intention was for sex and money. That was her original intent. However, she ended up falling in love with me because I'm a badass. So she ended up falling in love with me, okay? That was never her intention, never. Her intention was to get some, have me pay her bills, and get out. That was really her intention. And in fact, when I actually moved out, I was still paying some of her bills. I would still pay some of her bills when I moved out and got my own place after the engagement and all of that fell apart. Because, call me a fool, but that's just my unconditional love. And that's the healing part of me, right? So I am a healer. I have healed myself. You all know some stories. I suffered from seizures when I was a kid. I healed myself from those. I avoided arthroscopic knee surgery when I was in the military. And today I have no problem with my knee whatsoever because I'm a healer. And again, that's not to brag. That's just to hopefully encourage you to do some due diligence and look into yourself. Find out about the day you were born, what number on the calendar it was. My number on the calendar is 333. That is November 29th. I was born on the 333rd day of the year. I encourage us all to do our research, find out about ourselves, because that really is your makeup. The person you see in the mirror, that is just an image. And that is close to an illusion, quite honestly. So it would be better to look into yourself, look into your birth date, find out about your natal chart, look into those things. What's your ascendant sign? What's your sun sign? What's your moon sign? Find out about yourself. Don't just live this life going to work, getting a paycheck, paying a bill, trying to keep decent credit, and owning a house. Don't live your life like that. Do something beyond yourself. Okay, go beyond yourself. Do something extra. Okay, change lives. Okay, and when I say change lives, I mean in a miraculous way. Not just with coffee and friends at work. Not just those. Okay, so so there are things called, and I'm going to share a little bit about the spiritual energy and things like that. And again, bear with me if you do not understand. Again, feel free to ask questions. Okay. So there's something spiritually called a divine masculine and a divine feminine. Now we both have these energies. Everyone has both of these energies. Okay. So everyone has a divine masculine and a divine feminine, just like we both have both good and evil in us. That's why we have the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other. Okay. So with this divine feminine, divine masculine energy, it's just a matter of which one dominates. Okay? So for me, I am a divine feminine. Okay? So a divine feminine is a nurturer. They are a lover. They are a nurturer. They are an encourager. And in fact, that is the name of my YouTube channel, The Encourager, because that's who I am. And so, as you can tell through my Facebook posts, you know that. So she is a divine masculine. Now I'm going to show you how wild the Father's detail can get when he is trying to put two souls together for miraculous things here on earth. So those of you who know, I have had a kidney transplant, 7/7/17. Thank you, Yahweh God. Thank you. Right? She has had a kidney removed. I was an accountant for 13 years. Right? I don't know what I'm going to do here. We'll see. So I doubt if it's that, quite honestly. So anyway, because it's a new land, it's a new place. It's time for new things and new beginnings, and that includes career. So, yeah. So anyway, she, so for the past 13 years, I've been an accountant, right? Or of some capacity. I mean, I didn't start off as an accountant, as bookkeeping and tax preparer and blah, 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 right? So she is a tax preparer and was a tax preparer long before her and I ever met. And in fact, the way that we originally met is through a mutual friend who attended the church that I attended for 20 years. She came there, her and her family, a couple of years ago. And then the individual that she introduced me to in 2018, that I got engaged to, started going there in 2019. So, literally the same weekend that we started dating, I think. Yeah, the same weekend we started dating. What was my train of thought? Oh, so yes. So that's two things, okay? So we're both born in the Midwest. I was born in Illinois. She was born in Ohio. So we have both individually been involved in the adoption process. One has adopted and one has given to adoption. Okay? So that is again the detail of the kingdom is it's intrinsic. I mean, it is so detailed. It's so specific. Most people don't pay attention. They don't pay attention to their dreams. They have a dream, they wake up and they say, that was weird, and they go about their business. Pay attention. Pay attention. Spirit's trying to talk to you. Your angels are trying to talk to you. Pay attention. Okay? Don't just brush those things off. They mean something. Okay? So yes, just to share a couple of things between her and I that were yin and yang. You know what I mean? And it was a divine match that was purposed. However, she chose to forfeit that. Okay? So when she chose to forfeit that and go with this individual, and there's a spirit called a karmic, and an individual who is karmic is an individual who is manipulating. They have narcissistic tendencies. If they are not a straight out narcissist, often they are straight out narcissists, these karmic individuals. And it could be a male, female, it could be a karmic masculine, karmic feminine, it doesn't matter. Again, if you're unfamiliar with the terms, take a look. Don't just take my word for it, okay? Because then that's what people do when they go to church. They just take a minister's word for it, never realizing that there are 45 books missing from the Bible, right? So I don't know about you, but I want the 100% all truth, 100% of it. I'm not okay with a half-assed truth, okay? I hope you're not. If you are, then that's probably the type of life you're living, a half-assed life, quite honestly. And that's nothing against you, that's just the truth, right? So when I decided that I was going to leave, I actually wanted to get as far away from her as possible at that point in time, quite honestly. But I couldn't, one, because I still had a functioning business and clients and all of that sort of thing. This individual, through their witchcraft, this individual that she was with, right, through their witchcraft, and yes, there was witchcraft, because you can't accomplish these things without witchcraft, okay? Because those of you who know about the book that I recently released on My Father, Your King. It's available on Amazon. It's available on Goodreads. He was a narcissist, right? He was a polygamist for 30-something years. I have 16 siblings. I'm the eldest. So I'm very familiar with narcissistic tendencies. However, with her, because I was so confident, because of the evidence, I was so confident that it was a divine union and nothing was going to stop it except us, because we have free will, right? So no matter what, and this is a good thing to remember, no matter what, we all have free will. So even if Holy Spirit, divine source, tells you to turn right, if you can choose to go straight, to turn left, turn around, any other direction other than the one that Holy Spirit guided you to make. You can do that. However, there are consequences. Okay? You can do that, but there are consequences. So her and this individual, right? And again, I don't know to what degree she's involved in it, but they conspired to work against me, to destroy me. And basically all they wanted me homeless, they wanted me broke, they want, or the individual she was with, again, she did not initially, but she stayed with that individual. So again, guilty by association, right? Because someone comes up to me and they're like, hey, it could be a stranger that they're talking about, and they're like, hey, I want to end that person's life. I'm definitely going to do something to stop that. Like, really? Come on. I don't even know that individual. So I decided that it was time for a change, and that's the reason why I left Florida, because they were driving by my house. They were following me, and in fact, there was one day, true story. One day, I was told that there was a possibility that someone was going to be coming to the house that day. Okay, and I was given this information again. Holy Spirit, intuitive download, right? Holy Spirit talking to me, right? And I was told that someone was going to be coming by the house that day, and their intentions were not good. Okay, so and I wasn't scared, because that's not me. I don't care who you are. I'm not running. I will stand there and we're slugging it out, buddy, because I'm not a coward. So anyway, I didn't think anything of it, right? I heard that a couple hours before I was leaving, and so I called an Uber that day, and I was getting into the Uber, and the guy told me, he said, there was an accident on the main street here. He said, just a minute ago, right? And he said, so I had to go around the other way, and I don't know who was in that accident, but I wonder if it was one of the gang stalkers that they had set to come to the house. And again, all this might sound crazy to you. You don't have to believe me. Time will tell. Once the news gets out and all of that, then it'll be believable. But that's not faith, right? So faith is believing what's not seen, right? So I still believe in my promise, and now there's someone else who is here, walking on this earth, who now gets to sit in that seat, who now gets to be my divine counterpart, my soulmate, and we go on to change the world in the way that we're meant to be. And again, my goal, what I believe, is that I am to be a healer or counselor of some sort, spiritual, not a traditional pastor, preacher, none of that junk, none of that. And I say junk respectively. None of that religiousness, none of that. Okay, and so yes. So anyway, I thought I would come on here. This is running up to 30 minutes, so I don't need this to be a 30-minute video. So anyway, I just wanted to come on here while I walk to the store, share a little bit about why I'm making the changes that I am, to thank those who have reached out to me and those who have shown me love, whether that's through Facebook posts, text messages, or phone calls, emails. Thank you so much. I love you, and we're joined and connected until someone makes a choice that ends that. I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? So anyway, hope you guys are doing well in Florida. Please stay safe. I know that the tropical storm is on the way. And so, yes, thanks so much. And I'll see you guys soon.